as an issue. However, water as an issue is primarily centered on the Russian River corridor. There are issues throughout the county, but again, water is not going to be the first thing in the western half of my district, and the question becomes one of, okay, water is there, but what precisely are we doing about it? We don't talk in terms of this being something that we really have to get out front on and really see it going. I'm disappointed, for example, this morning here in seeing that we don't have some of our key staff people here, and we don't have some of the key people in the county who should be concerned about economic development here and what the county's doing about it. But I guarantee you that the minute we walk out of this room, each one of us will have different calls about, well, what did you decide, where to go, and so forth. But it's just not seen as worthwhile showing up at meetings to talk about economic development. The other thing I'd comment on is there are a lot of people in Mendocino County, including those wealthy retirees who bring all their resources and their pension funds and their money into the county. When the idea of getting more retirees into Mendocino County was presented at the last session by the responsible person, I thought, my first take on it was it was a satire. Simply because these are precisely the kind of people that have the little McMansions up in the hills in Anderson Valley, but nobody knows who lives there. In fact, the information we have is about 30% of them are not occupied by anybody except perhaps a caretaker in the garden house behind it. These are people who do not contribute to the community, generally come in, stay on the average 5 years, move on to the 4th house, 5th house, 7th house, whatever. And I'm not exaggerating here, but I think the important thing is we have an awful lot of people who come to Mendocino County who do not want economic development. Whether they're trustafarians, whether they happen to be people who come here with a nice retirement situation, or whether they're people that are only going to grow, 25, 50, 100, 10,000 plants and figure out some way to get rid of them. And I think that's the economic development conundrum that we have to face here in this county. But I think the two things the county can really focus on and really has to talk about it in a much more serious way is water and internet connectivity. Even if we don't accomplish anything in the next year, that will at least put us on the same page as we are on when it comes to having at least a halfway decent highway up here from the south end of the county and down into more populated areas. If we didn't have that, we would be comparable to the position as we are now in our lack of high-speed internet access in Mendocino County. And Johnny, I know you don't, I'll trade you. We'll work on the internet together. I know you love it. And I'll work on water. It's not my prime item, but it can be a topic.
I don't use the internet.
I know.
But I understand the importance of it.
Got it.
Well, perhaps Kathy could comment on the Humboldt Foundation and the broadband revenue project that we're part of. There were 2 meetings in Mendocino County and then the one in the coastal one. The coastal one was very well attended because I think it spoke to the rural enclaves really don't have the services you went through in the presentation that Supervisor Colfax just alluded to. And what is sort of the likelihood that this is really going to have any substantive, sort of action components? I really think that the process is going to have to be politicized to become effective, because the fact that they didn't roll it out with universal coverage as we have with other concepts of utilities and postal service and so forth is I think the major problem with it. And how we sort of turn that around once the technology is out the gate is I think really the question. There are folks that are in Mendocino County that say, we've got the technology, we can do it. There are people on the ground that can actually do that technical work, and they probably could get more of them here, but the economics are not such that we're really players in it. So I think that is a very key issue, and I believe, and I've spoken on this to a number of groups before, that this is an aspect of, that I think the county really needs to engage in. The county needs to be one of the strong partners at the table to get this going, along with the private sector, along with the sort of regional approach. So I'd like you to talk about that. The other thing is that you began with, which is this fragmented approach to economic development. It's something that I've noticed, and once again, we don't have very many, if any, coastal folks in the room. We have this geographical divide. The county's never been able to really conquer that. I don't believe within the county dissemination of services and resources, nor the sort of private sector divide with the various economic drivers on both sides of the mountain range. And I think it's absolutely where we need to focus. I think we need to get, as I think you said, getting people to the table. I think you said, in terms of where are the economic drivers, who are the various players, and really coming up with a substantive plan that addresses what can the public sector do, what do our nonprofit partners do, and what does the private sector do, and sort of figure out who's the most appropriate player to carry out various functions to really get us to where we want to go. So we've had a number of these visioning processes